Okay, so week 7 overview. Again, we are doing consumption and materialism this week. Again, this is one of my favorite lessons. I like this because it's something that everybody, um, we can sort of wrap our mind around it because we all are consumers in some way, shape, or form. Now, maybe we don't, some of us consume more than others, and that's great, but we all have to buy stuff, even if it's just food. But we buy things. It's fine. Like, we need. It's good to have an economy. People have jobs. People can make a living and so forth. So, um, having participating in the as a consumer is not bad per se. But the idea about this week is to really really think about what are the impacts of our consumer behavior, especially when we get beyond sort of like the basic survival and not sort of moderate to low level of consumption, and we get to the point where we become materialistic. That's really a big problem. And so we'll look at some of the impacts of that, but also most of us are materialistic in some way, shape, or form, whether we like to admit it or not. I don't know about you. I know very, very, very few people that are just like, don't care about anything in terms of what they look, how fashionable they are, what they have. Everything's just about functional. I actually have a specific family member, and this is the only person that I know that's just basically on off of this treadmill where he just doesn't care. He wears a shirt until it almost is like, you know, falling off of him because it's full of holes. Just has no regard. And I have to say, it seems like a very liberating way to live. And I wish I had more of that in me. But regardless, maybe some of you are like that. And if you are, congratulations, because it really is a great way to live. It just takes off so much pressure and so much mental, I guess, weight to do that. And there's a specific environmental sociological concept called the treadmill of consumption, which has a lot to do with this. And this is basically you consume more, you buy more things without any additional life satisfaction. And so this, I think most of us are on this treadmill in some way, shape, or form. We'll also go over greenwashing, which I'm sure you're familiar with that term. There's a couple of different ways to look at it. One of them is a company that portrays that they're doing something environmentally friendly when really they're not, or maybe they do something that truly is environmentally friendly, but the rest of their company really is, not environmentally friendly. So this is something that's all around us. Sustainability sells now. Green sells. Look at all the green this, green that, green everything. And so that becomes a problem because then it's hard for the average consumer to know what does green really mean? What does sustainable really mean? And so hopefully, throughout this lesson and really throughout this class, you'll find out more about that. And the more you know, the better you can make, the better decisions you can make. And so, but there are also some personal impacts of this treadmill in terms of your self-esteem, your general happiness, depression, and so forth. And so, it's really something that I think once you're aware of it, let's put it this way, probably like for most people, the only way to get off the treadmill is really to be aware of it and understand what the negative impacts that all this overconsumption and materialistic behavior is causing. But if nothing else, at least maybe you can understand a little more and really think about why you are buying the next iPhone or I don't know, a bigger house or a new shirt or whatever outfit that's fashionable. And I think it's really helpful to investigate your personal motivations behind these purchases because there are broader implications for that. And so that's what this lesson is really all about. So we'll go over what is consumption, what is materialism, a really great video here from Tim Kasser. And then there's a short reading on the treadmill of consumption, and then sort of some practical reasons why consumer behavior doesn't cause happiness and in fact can cause unhappiness. Then we'll go over the concept of perceived and planned obsolescence, which is something that manufacturers and companies sort of trick you, for lack of a better term, into buying more stuff. And there's a couple different ways to do that. And then finally, we'll end up with greenwashing and watch a couple of videos that and read some readings that detail what greenwashing is. And so, of course, you have your weekly questions as usual. I want to note that you also have to choose a presentation topic. So you're going to choose, and you can see here it's in the lesson. If you go to the assignment, so toward later in the semester, you're going to present one of basically something about Colorado. Okay, and so you click here for a list of topics, and you can see here. Here's your list of topics. I'm going to slide this over. Right, and so this is a Google Doc, of course. It looks like Robin has been the first person in the first come first serve. And so the idea here is these are all I think interesting aspects of Colorado that I think would be useful for everyone to know. And so you're going to learn about them, and then you will present them to, or present it to the class later in the semester. Okay, so you can see I provide details, description, where it is on a map, and so forth. So make sure you do that. If you don't, I will just sign you up and pick one for you. So it's better that you pick one, right? So make sure you do that, and that's due at the end of the week. I'm having trouble getting back to it. Here we go. Okay, so that's the other one. And also, if you haven't found, let me go slide it over. If you haven't found your group partner for the final project, remember at the end of, I think, week 8, which is the end of next week, you'll have to choose your partner. So keep working on that, and then once you determine groups, just send me an email, and then I'll create a group for you. Okay? So that's this week. Again, remember, click that little down arrow if you want to see the overview. All right, well, I hope you enjoy the content, and I hope you have a great week, and of course, reach out if you need anything.